This is 2 Minutes Together, a ministry of Central Lutheran Church, Eugene, Oregon. I'm Pastor Ben. This week, in our first reading, we will have a reading from the book of Acts. And it is the story of the martyrdom of Stephen. And there's a lot going on in that story. And after Stephen gives this big, long speech, then he looks up to heaven and has a vision, and he sees Jesus standing at the right hand of God the Creator. Now, I emphasize that because it's actually the only time in the Bible that we see that image. Jesus on the right hand happens very many times, but it's almost always Jesus sitting on the right hand. Here it's Jesus standing. Now, some of you might say, and there would be scholars who agreed with you, well, that's not really very important and there's really not much to that. But we're Lutherans. We pay attention to when we're supposed to stand and we're supposed to sit. And more than that, there might be something going on here that I'd like us to explore for our devotion. That is the idea that who is God standing for? How is God behaving toward us? The image of Jesus seated is a royal image, like seated on a throne. And there is a variety of rhetoric and metaphors of Jesus and kingdom that we could talk about. But Jesus standing is something different. Stephen has just given a long sermon making a case that Jesus really is the Messiah. And it's almost like a legal case. Well, in the Old Testament, in the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, you have, especially in the Greek translation that would have been familiar to Stephen, you have the image of God standing and overseeing a case. Stephen has been trying to make this case that Jesus, who has died and risen, is Messiah. And what this is saying is, God is there with Stephen in that. Most of us in our lives aren't going to have a moment of witness like Stephen had, which is what the word martyr means, is witness. And it's really his life that is the witness of the faith. But all of us can simultaneously with Stephen say, when our life shows what we believe, there is Jesus with us, standing with us in those spaces. This is 2 Minutes Together. I'm Pastor Ben.